What's up, everybody? Full Kid No Plan, another episode brought to you by Jesse Lauren and Aldo Ocampo. What's up, my man? How you doing on this blessed
I'm
Tuesday?
doing great, man. How are you? How are you? I'm happy to be here. I'm
I'm up,
excited.
up.
We're getting ready to head into the holidays. Life is good, man.
Dude, I love to hear that, bro. I mean, I really do. Um, we talk about this all the time on this podcast, right? Be grateful, be positive, be loving. That doesn't mean to be soft, be weak. No, you know what I'm saying? Vulnerability, showing vulnerability is true strength. You know, it is healing, it is power. And, um, every day we get an opportunity again to wake up and see it doesn't matter what the situation is, you get an opportunity. It is a true opportunity to try to make a change within yourself, within your community, within your family, within your work, whatever it is. I don't take it lightly. I love it. Sometimes I do wake up or I go to bed and I'm like, fuck, man, tomorrow I got this shit going on. Fuck all that. Then I wake up and I'm like, what the fuck, man, today's a day. And so that was my mentality years ago. Now it's programming it so I go to bed the right way. Okay, so I got these opportunities waiting for me tomorrow. This is what I gotta do. This is how I gotta set myself up. And I go through these checks, right? Boom, 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 based on my strengths, based on my weaknesses, based on how I know I handle things. And every day is an opportunity to grow, right? But that's how I go to bed now. And then when I wake up, I'm like, first and foremost, I love it. I'm grateful and I'm very thankful. I get to see my children. I get to see people that I care about. I get to make an impact in my community, continue to grow my business, grow my support for organizations and people out there. And I'm ready to tackle this day. I know what's coming ahead and everything's going to align. And even some random shit's going to happen because today's my day. And why? So I was able to wake up. I don't know how you deal with it, bro, but that's been my change. And it's helped me slowly. And I'm just trying to continue to maintain that level of awareness. What you got to say, bro?
Yeah. No, I mean a lot of that, for sure is the same type of deal. I wake up, I do, the morning rituals, all that type of stuff, just to keep me grounded. Um, but but really, I mean, it's right now to be thankful is it's a blessing, man. I When we get into the holidays, I mean, you got Thanksgiving and then right into Christmas. And I can remember so vividly, like just 5 years ago, dude, I had no one. Like I spent one, okay, I'll go right into it. Uh, I spent one Christmas completely alone in a psychiatric hold for 72 hours. Christmas Eve is when I went in. Um, it was a shit show. It was a shit show for me, for my family, um, and coming into Christmas this year, I'm just very thankful that I'm nowhere near that situation anymore. I have my children. We have, we've decorated the house. We're looking at lights, drinking cocoa, all those things. And you talked about like just being thankful for the kids, and this is really the time when I'm very thankful. Um, to be able to do things that I do today.
Dude, yeah, and that's one thing we wanted to touch on today, everybody. It's just how do we walk in? How do we feel going into the holidays, right? And everyone's got a different way to experience the holidays, depending on your background, culture, right? A religion, in some cases, um, but regardless, it's a holiday. You can't escape it. It's here. It's coming fast. Christmas, New Year's, you know, get-togethers, family, friends, all of that. And as a veteran, you know, sometimes when you're active. You could be training, you could be overseas, you can be anywhere in the world at any given time, right? So there's a break there. You Obviously, if you were deployed, you know that the world doesn't stop for the rest of the world, the rest of your family, friends, it stops for us, right? So if you've been deployed, you know that feeling. And so it really, even if you did a short 3-year freaking contract, right? It doesn't matter. One holiday experience while serving in the military can really, really change the dynamic of how you experience it moving forward, right? And so, we wanted to touch on what's your experience? How do you prepare? How do you feel? What goes through your mind? Are you excited? Are you not? Is it overwhelming? And I mean, I'm gonna open it up to my boy Jesse here. I don't know what your experience is, as you mentioned, right? But how is it the same? Do you still feel a certain way? Do you still look forward to it? Did you not? Like, what is this for you? How do you feel getting close to Christmas? We're what, 3 weeks away?
Yeah, we are 3 weeks. Well, one of the main things I do is I wait till the last minute when it comes to Christmas shopping. But I think every dad out there does that. And I just rush around and it fucks me up and I get stressed out and all of the things that go along with that. Um, but but deeper down is really I just have a deep appreciation, man. I think about it. I think about it a lot. I think about that time that I was just talking about and how, it could be completely different with just one move. And there's a lot of guys out there, man. There's a lot of people I know personally that that are veterans that struggle. They really struggle, whether especially in this economy. I mean, you have so many things just hitting you from every side. You're dealing with the economy and not being able to afford shit and are we going to get groceries this week or buy the things that we need for Christmas? And then you add the corporatization of the whole thing where you just got to keep buying more and more shit. That's really all it is. It has nothing to do with family, at least if you watch, ads and commercials, right? But just being able to take the time to really reflect and see that the people around you are what make it what it is. What
And
make
yeah, you're right. Like, do you? For me personally, I in my experience, I was really looked at like the Grinch within my family. Like, for years and years, I would not celebrate Christmas. I would not come around. I would, during my time married and with my child there. Yeah, I'm not saying like I wouldn't partake or nothing, but I was the grumpy Grinch. Like, I just would not partake. I'd set up lights and do stuff because I know it's the holidays and I have a daughter and I got to be like I got to do the family thing. And I wouldn't do it like angry or begrudgingly or nothing, but I do it for them, but there was no like cheer for me. There was no like awesome, it's the holidays. Like, I just wanted to get it over with. Um
Yeah.
and I think a lot of it was because it's the commercialization of the holiday. Like, why do I have to like go buy all this shit? Like, like, and not, I'm probably coming across as a cheapskate or something, but it's for me, the biggest gifts in life is that of knowledge, is that of experience, learning something. Not necessarily, not that a materialistic gift isn't awesome and I wouldn't give one. I mean, I do, right? But it was just like, man, like, why do I have to get this? Why do I have to go buy that? So when I buy gifts, like, I buy like educational gifts. Like, I'll buy like gifts. I'll buy like if they're children, my nieces, nephews, daughters, so stuff like that. It's always something that has to do with growth. Like, learn something, motherfuckers. Learn something while you have fun. Um, I get it that there's this hot new iPhone, or I get it that there's this hot new X, Y, and Z, and cool, maybe somebody in the family will buy it, but I'm buying you this shit. Like, so you know?
Yeah. No, I feel you, dude. And it's almost like what we're dealing with is the decline of a civilization. You know, when what's supposed to be Jesus's birthday, and very very deep in spiritual and I mean I hate to use the word religious, but it certainly is. But it's deep in faith, right? And so when we're cutting out the faith part and adding, you know, unlimited amounts of corporate greed, like there's a disconnect, right? And so it can feel like we're just running through the motions. And then you add on top of that, like in my case, and a lot of other veterans, like you add on top of that PTSD and, the anniversaries that that our bodies hold, right? Like those come up at certain times of the year. For me, I have a lot of different trauma anniversaries in my body that deal around, um, Christmas time. Some from the military, some not, and they all compound. And for the longest time for me, I wasn't focused on that. I wasn't even acknowledging it. And the more I pushed it aside, the more I ignored it, the more it screamed at me every year, like, listen to me, motherfucker. We have to do some shit inside. We have to work on ourselves and we have to let go of all this trauma. Otherwise, we're going to pass it on to our children. And I did. And I did for many years. Many years I passed on the same bullshit trauma that was given to me, because it was all I knew. It was all I knew, and I didn't understand the relationship between the anniversary, the trauma in the body, and how it all manifests, physically. Um, and I feel like a lot of people can can relate to that. Maybe they don't know it, maybe they don't have those words for it, but I feel like a lot of people can relate to those types of thoughts and processes that I went through myself.
No, I totally agree with you, and I think to your closing comment there, like most people may not even notice it right away, or kind of put two and two together. Um, um, in many cases too, like, I don't know about you guys out there, but like there's a lot of brothers and sisters that we know that are multicultural and from different places. And so, another thing that drags my ass to the motherfucking floor is like, are we gonna celebrate on the 24th, or are we gonna celebrate on the 25th? And like, I don't know, like, that's just how we grew up. My family's from Mexico, and they celebrate on the 24th, and they stayed up and they celebrated baby Jesus' birthday at midnight, and then that's when they would open gifts, right? So everything happened the 24th, you know, dinner, lunch, gathering, family gathering, coming over. And so that's what they're used to. And they brought that over here. And, that's how I grew up. And then the next day, now that we're older, my sisters are older, like they're like, okay, on the 25th. So now it's like they got their family and, my family and the whole nine. So, you know, 24th something happens and the 25th. And I'm like, fuck, can we just pick one? That's just one. And I'm game for it. Like, I don't care what it is. Like, we can mix them both on either one day, like either which day. I don't know. Maybe again, I'm just a fucking Grinch. I don't know. I'll still celebrate. I'll still partake. I'm not gonna get in the way. I'm not gonna be a, Debbie Downer. But like that cultural, background, fucking fucks with my head. I'm just like, fuck, man, it's tiring like a mofo. I don't know how you guys deal with it. Do you do anything different? You and your background, brother.
Yeah. First off, yeah, that's a lot, dude. So, I mean, one day is a lot for me, dude. So to do that back to back, like that's a lot of energy being put out there, and no real time for any recoup. So I can totally understand that that's something that you don't
Yeah, I'm
necessarily look
just like,
forward
fuck,
to,
man.
but also
Pick
look
one and
forward.
leave it alone.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, with me, I was when I was a kid, we always did like one present before you went to bed on Christmas Eve, and then you like leave out cookies and shit for Santa, and then everything happens the morning of the 25th. Now, when I was a kid, I couldn't sleep worth shit, right? Like I was up every couple of minutes trying to catch Santa, and then I'd wake up and all the presents would be there, and I was like, "Damn, bro! Like, look at this!" And just excited as a kid. The wonders of being a child. Um, and now it's like I get to be the person that makes those come true, right? So I spend from the time they go to bed on the 24th, I spend the time getting everything all set up and doing what needs to be done. And then the 25th is just it's a lot. We're going from this house to that house to my parents' house. And that's usually where like the whole family gathers is at my parents' house. And that's a lot. Like, dude, that is a lot of people and perspectives and just different lives coming together, all meshing together and having a feast. And so it can become very, I don't want to say draining, but very
exhausting.
Yeah, it costs a lot, you know,
It's
and I love giving it. It's just for 2, I don't think I could do that for 2 days, to be honest with you.
well,
I don't know if I could do it back to back.
well, check this out. Let me throw it, and for you Hispanics out there that knows, particularly Mexican, New Year's comes around, and guess what? Uh, 5 days later, after the first, we have Los Santo Reyes. So, you pull out shoes and you put money in shoes. Don't ask me. Don't shoot me. Don't give me shit. I don't fucking know. Um, I don't know where that comes from. It talks about like the I guess it's like a religious thing about the kings searching for like baby Jesus, and they finally found him on that day. I don't know. I'm ignorant. Have no fucking clue. I just know we got to do it twice. Like I don't even know where that comes from, but it's called the uh El Día de Santo Reyes.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I'm I'm over here having technical difficulties. I don't know if it's because I'm talking about this. I I don't, and this is probably just me again, and this is I'm just speaking for myself, but like I don't look forward to the holidays. I just don't. And I'm trying to change that. So that's something I'm working through. We talk about all these like, getting better and working here and working there. Again, remember guys, no one's perfect. We all have our chinks in our armor, and we all have different areas and facets of our life that we're working on. And that's one of mine. I'm just not the holiday guy. It eats me up. It drains me just to think about it, to be completely honest. And that's just me. So I was just curious to see what others deal with and others feel like, how you guys, I mean, is it just a me thing? Is there many of us out there? Do we want to just like fucking hit forward and just get on with the New Year's? Um, am I just a
Talk
grumpy
with a
old
lot of
man?
people, dude, and I think that that is a common theme, just pushing it, the button and getting through it, um, as opposed to, being in the moment and grateful and joyous for the experience. Um, and bro, I mean, we're all human. We're all authentically who we are, and the things that we've gone through in the past, the Christmases before, the holidays before, they shape how we see things, right? And again, the traumas of war, the traumas of combat, especially around this time of year, like those add a lot to it, right? The first off, you're talking about a bunch of people with high energy moving into a space. And there are a lot of veterans that don't even like to go out to eat in public, right? So when you're talking about these crowded rooms and high energy, like that can trigger a lot of things, especially in people that haven't been fortunate enough to find those traumas and release them, so really is, I guess what I'm saying is, this holiday, check on your battle buddies, especially the ones that look like they're doing okay, because a lot of times they might not be, and we're taught in that community, in that environment, in that culture to just keep trucking along, and if you're feeling something, there's chances that your fellow veteran is either feeling it or has felt it before. Um, and so that's one small way that we can kind of give back, is just check on our battles, man. The holidays are rough for people on a good day.
A great point, bro. Great point because and you guys know I like to challenge y'all out there. And so, thanks to Jesse touching on this. I challenge everybody, moving forward, when you guys see this, hear this, moving forward as we're getting nearing Christmas and those, that special time with friends and family, reach out every day, try to find one battle that that you were close to, or you haven't heard from in a while, or we're all connected in social media in one way, shape, or form, and you know, um, Jesse and I were having a conversation before we came online, like we typically do, and we're talking about the past, and a version of yourself or a version of someone, right? So even if in that moment during your time, it wasn't the best relationship, right? They're still human, and I'm sure that they're also dealing with something out there, and what better time to start some level of growth, if you're in that journey to reach out to someone like that, right? And be like, hey, what's up? How you doing? So I challenge everybody from this point on moving forward, send a friendly message, if you have direct contact to them, send them a text. um and if not, nowadays we're all connected on social media, so you know we're always talking about being the bigger person. But hey, it's not about that, it's about you and how do you feel, right? So for me, thank you, Jesse, for bringing that up. I can actually start seeing things a little different when it comes to that aspect, right? Because I'm a uh, very like driven individual when it comes to having personal relationships, right? And I'm a relationship builder, so that changed my mind about walking into just this conversation right now, and your words about um seeing things a little different, right? So it doesn't have to be just focused around the day, the madness about the commercial, aspect of spending money and hard-earned dollars in this economy. But man, I can definitely check up on somebody. So thanks for that, bro. That Yeah, and I challenge everybody to do the same between now and Christmas or the now and New Year's. And just reach out to a battle, brother or sister out there. We all need to hear from one another. Sometimes we're all in our own world dealing with our own challenges, especially during this time where everyone seems very happy. But just know that everyone's wearing a mask, and it's okay. We're just hiding our fears. But let's be that warrior that we signed up to be, right? When we signed on that fucking dotted line and signed our life away and shit. And for us,
Absolutely,
we're
man. It's,
fortunate.
it's about service, and the more we give back, the more this world becomes a better place. And just checking in on you guys is a small way that you can give back, because you never know. You never will know who actually needed to hear it. You know, and and I mean, I believe I have a lot of faith in this universe and in spirituality and faith, and I believe that you know God puts us in places that we're supposed to be, So especially if you're hesitant, if you hesitate, oh, maybe should I reach out? They're gonna think I'm blah 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 blah, because like you said, you're thinking about the memory of the person that you knew. For some of us, that was 10 years ago. For me, it was 10 years ago. Um, and so a lot happens in 10 years. I'm certainly not that person that I was. And so, they're more than likely not either. So if you're getting into your head and thinking, oh man, they're just gonna think I'm a bitch, or, why is he doing this, whatever, then you really need to do it. That's a guarantee to jump off the ledge and just be like, fuck it, yes, hit the send button, hit the call button, whatever it may be. Um, but just reach out, man. It costs you nothing, and it could be worth the world to someone else.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, we challenge you guys, every single one. Just get out there, reach out, and then you're gonna see, those small acts start also shaping your thoughts, right, and how you view things and your perception, and get into perspective, and even self development and growth, like letting go of those past, letting go of the past feelings, and all of that stuff. We all have challenges, but we all want to like overcome them, right? And so, we're just wondering, what our fellow brothers and sisters are going through right now. I'm hopeful that the majority are having a great time and are looking forward to these festive times. But we also recognize the reality of being in the service, right? And how tough it can be. And not to say that it's only strictly because of the service, right? Because we all join for a reason, right? We all have our history, we all have our backgrounds, where we came from, how we ended up there, right? So it'll just compound and exacerbate, that view or that perception of certain times, certain environments, certain locations, or right now, talking about holidays. Um, but you can't overcome it if you don't allow yourself to grow. And growing is doing things that are sometimes uncomfortable. But when you recognize that, like Jesse said, just fucking do it. Just that's the reason. Just go for it. So I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start. And you know what? Touching on that, bro. Um, I got a call. Ooh, man, when was it? Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Um, from someone we were in service with. They're out in Missouri, and they're like, "Hey, man, and give me a call when you get a chance." And I'm like, "Okay." So I called him, and he sounded pretty good. Typically, he'd be like fucking, you know, bitching, whining, complaining, and we give each other shit, right? We talk straight up. That's what we do in the military. We just give each other shit and be straight and direct with each other. But I would always do that. But this time he sounded different. He sounded really confident, really put together. And I was like, man, but I just heard him out. And the reason we reached out to was because one of our platoon sergeants at the time had reached out to him that morning crying. And I guess we didn't know this guy personally, but our platoon sergeant was really close to this person. I guess he had passed away, so he reached out to him, and so he reached out to me and said, "Hey, reach out to so and so. They're going through a tough time." And so like expand your circle. If you still have that circle of battles, expand on it. Expand on it, especially on this. I mean, we're fucking tight. We're tight at the hip. That fucking cell phone, Android or iPhone. I mean, computers, laptops, you fucking name it. Expand your circle. Expand your circle. You don't know how you can help or be a service to someone, how you can support someone, or how you can just be even just a listening ear, right, or a shoulder to cry on, or or someone to pick brains, right? Like maybe you're a business owner, maybe you're a new father, or you have children. Someone's gonna be a new father, new mother. Like you don't know, but let people know that you're approachable and expand your circle because that's exactly Jesse's point. That's how we change. That's how we create an impact. So, man, yeah, I hadn't even thought about it like that, bro. Now you got me thinking.
Yeah. Good. Well, that's what this whole fucking thing is about, man. Is to share ideas, share what we're all going through. I mean, dude, when you think about it, like we have such a unique asset as service members. I mean, we all share this one thing in common, serving our country. Some of us went to war together, some of us just trained stateside. But regardless, we have this plethora of knowledge from people all around the country from different walks of life, like you said. And all of those different perspectives have a different way of viewing. And just getting your foot in the door is simply acknowledging that we both serve the same country. And from there, you have so many different perspectives that you can bounce ideas across and say how it is that you see it. And maybe you're too close, maybe you're not close enough, whatever it is. But when you bounce it off other people that you feel comfortable around because of the bond, but yet they come from a completely different part of the country, sometimes the world, they're able to help you see things for maybe what they are or what you couldn't see. So, I really think that leaning into that asset and using it and leveraging it to the best of your ability is one of the things that all of us can always work on.
Yeah, guys, and we all signed up wanting to serve our country, and then on a personal level, become a leader, become the best version of our soldier selves, right? And so that doesn't stop when you get out. Continue to serve, and continue to lead. And it's difficult in the civilian sector, but it can be done. I think the biggest challenge for most of us, and I say most of us, I stay quiet because I sometimes I fucking cuss. I cuss like a motherfucker, and so I just stay quiet because I'm like, nope, that's I can articulate my thoughts better. But the initial instinct's like, shut the fuck up, give them the knife hand and like, fuck no. But my point is, um, lead, 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 lead. And if you need to be the one reaching out, you need to be the one organizing, supporting. you're gonna see you join the military to serve, and you're gonna see how serving even now, even more so, is gonna be fulfilling and more and more.
Yeah. And while we're touching on the note, I mean, we talked a lot about this upcoming holiday and how it can be rough for people. And if you don't have anyone to talk to, man, fucking hit us up. Hit up the podcast, dude. Like I'll sit and talk with anyone. It never bothers me, especially if you're going through some shit. And again, I know these holidays are hard sometimes. So hit us up, man. Anything I can do to help, I'm always there. And I know you are.
Absolutely, yes, and to Jesse's point, you can find me on IG at aldo.ocampo.official, or Instagram or Facebook on Aldo Ocampo, and just reach out, say what's up. Hey man, boom, I heard this. I just want to talk to you. And Jesse, where can they find you?
Let's see. You can find me at jesse.lauren on Instagram, Facebook. I am Jesse everywhere else.
Yeah, because yeah, if that's the case, or you just don't want to talk to the same people, shoot, that's why we're here. And if we can do anything to support you where you're at, wherever you're at in the state or in the nation, hey man, we and gal, what's up, sister? We're here for you guys. We're here for you. That's the whole point of full kit, no plan, right? We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen. We're all leaders. We all lead from the front, and we're gonna figure it out. So if we don't have the answers, we'll find them for you. We'll support you. We'll help you, because we want the success of all our brothers and sisters, and that's the whole point of this. It's emotional. It's personal. It's professional. It's spiritual. It's you name it, but success. And we're not measuring it here with dollars. We're not measuring it here with what you got or what you don't have on the material side. We're measuring it on, are you at peace with yourself, and how can you go support others to be in the same way, to be the same way as you, and find themselves and find some peace, right, bro? Because peace is everything.
Absolutely, man. It's all about coming home. Some of us came home when we actually landed from overseas. Some of us still haven't come home. And some of us come home in a few years later or wherever it is. But wherever you are, always remember it's time to come home.
Yeah, come home. It's taken me years. I'm finally home. I'm trying to get used to home. That's where I'm at on my personal journey.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know about you guys. I don't know
All
about you,
right.
bro. But that's where I'm at. I'm like a stray cat or a stray dog. Like, wait, this seems familiar. I just don't know.
Yeah. For real, man. I completely agree with you on that. And I feel it. Um, it took me, you know, we might have left the desert, but it took me about 7 years to come home from the desert. And and that's why I say that. That's why I use those terms is come home, man. Wherever you are in your mind, it's time to come back to where you actually are.
And
Here.
and and I want to touch on this, and it's sometimes we say we want to go back to what seems comfortable, or what we believe to feel, which is home, or some sense of of familiarity, right? And so you get home, and you go back home where you grew up, or even the people you're around. You surround yourself the same type of people where you were at, and just remember, there was a reason why you wanted to leave. Just just throwing it out there, guys. There's a reason why you wanted to leave, right? So um as you realize these things, it's not to say to leave or cut people off, right? But it's for you to understand what you need to cut off, what you need to stop entertainment, who you need to stop keeping around or coming around. It's fine. You want to go back home, but just understand you can make home home, but it starts with you, because
It ends
otherwise
there
you're
too,
just
man.
going
It
back.
ends there too. Home isn't a physical place.
Yes.
Home is not a physical place, bro. It is a state of mind. It is a state of energetic coherence between the heart and the brain.
Dude, and you're so right. It's yeah, it's not a physical place. Man, you've been filled with gems today. What's up, bro? Do I owe you money today? Am I gonna
No,
have to
no,
charge me
no. This
for
is
this?
all free of charge, man. This is all free of charge.
No, guys, hey, we were just having a really deep conversation, Jesse and I, and then he's like over here just spitting hot fire. So, don't let this amazing advice go to waste. I'm telling you guys, people charge for this stuff. And it's not no joke. And I'm not saying we are, or he is. I'm just saying, like, honestly, when you're around, people that you want to emulate, right? Like an athlete because you're in sports, or you want to be a sergeant major, and that kind of stuff. Like you get close to them, you start seeing that they think different, they move different, they act different, right? Why? Because they're paying attention to very specific things. They're not paying attention to everything. They're not letting everything bother them, or they don't engage with everything. But um be a little bit more aware of everything that you're doing, even if you don't do nothing with it. Just be aware. Be aware. Be aware. You'd be surprised the things that you do on a daily basis that keep holding you back, keep putting you down, or just when you're about to find a breakthrough, you keep sabotaging it. So just really be aware. And we got taught this on a very basic surface level. And for a different situation while we're in the military, right? Awareness, right? But it was always different. But the point is the same. Now do it for yourself. Be self-aware, not necessarily for enemies in combat, not necessarily to engage, um, physically, but your reaction to something. Shit, someone didn't get your coffee order right. Whatever. What made you, get angry, frustrated, upset, whatever, or lose it, right? Just lose your cool. Be aware. Be aware. Self awareness is the biggest, I would say, in my personal experience, biggest aspect of growth. If you're not aware of what your own limited beliefs, your own limitations, your own, damaging actions and perceptions, and then you're gonna be sitting around in life 60, 70 years old if you get to that life, just blaming everybody.
For sure, man. And you know, as a military vet, and all of the vets out there that listen to this and could take anything from it. You said it right on the head. You said be aware. We were taught awareness. We were taught awareness for the enemy, for whether it's IEDs on the road to spotters to whatever it may be. Be aware of the enemy. This is no different. It really can be applied because you're looking for the enemies within yourself, and they leave clues, just like the physical enemy did on the battlefield, right? Like the new battlefield is the mind. And when you take the same things that you were taught in the military for looking for enemies, you'll find them within yourself, and that starts the process. Dude. That starts the healing process.
And we all want to heal, not just physically. I mean, I got, like everybody, I got a fucked up back, fucked up knees. Um, so I want to heal too, but there's other aspects of my life that I want to leave behind. I want to leave behind. I don't want to be the same dude, the same Aldo. You know, I phases like one year, let's just say this year, I was doing good, and I was financially stable, and then I found myself in a situation where I wasn't, or why? Because of my thoughts, because of the way I operated, because I continued to not allow myself to grow. And so now it's all about, understanding that, yeah, and we know this, right? Our decisions have carry consequences, right? But to what level, and to what depth? Um, and you got to be continue to be progressing in every aspect of your life. And even when you progress, doesn't mean you're getting better, that you're doing things better. It's just there's now you're gonna find other challenges that are gonna test you the same way, just in a different environment. And are you ready to make those changes? I mean, I was talking to Jesse earlier, and I was just like, yeah, I don't know that I am. And going into these holidays, and being in a room like Jesse said, sometimes we don't want to go out to no rooms, and even if it's family, and I'm just like, I gotta embrace it. I am with family. I can't just sit there saying I'm gonna go through the motions, because I that's what I do personally. Every freaking holidays, I go through the motions. Like, fuck, I'm here. Yay! Hey, at least there's food. I'll have a drink. Um, I don't want to do that this year, so that's my personal challenge to myself. and it starts with what Jesse said. I'm gonna start reaching out to my battles a little bit more often, and be intentional about my interaction and my engagement, because the podcast is cool. We've had a lot of success this year, and there's a lot of growth coming for 2026. But you know, what makes it real is the impact and the change in other people's lives, right? And it starts with being engaged, and it starts by being the leader that we need to be, right? So again, I challenge every single one out there to assume that role within your environment and your position, and see what it does for you. And maybe you guys could jump on, and we have you on here, and we can talk about this next year.
Yeah, for sure, man. I think that that would be good, to get different perspectives in here and just see, because I mean, like I said, we're a very valuable asset to each other.
Yeah, I'm still yeah, like I'm be honest, like sometimes I'm just like, man, like Christmas in Iraq was cool. Like, it was cool. It was fucking cool. And that was such a long ass time ago. And here I am, fucking, like trying to fucking trailblaze and do things in my community, do things that I didn't see myself doing, and yet here I am still facing certain challenges that continue to hold me back, continue to not allow me to step into that next phase of the better version of Aldo. And why? Because I kinda enjoyed that, and I'm stuck in that, and it shouldn't be that way. So I got my challenges, and I'm sure everybody out there does as well. If there's guys got any pointers, any way to see what works, how to view things, what to do, shoot, I'm open to it. I'm open to any suggestions.
Absolutely, man. All experiences help.
Yeah, so I mean, and what do you guys got planned for New Year's? What do you got planned for New Year's, bro? Like, how are you seeing your and we can probably go on the New Year's topic for a while, from my perspective, for how I see things. 'Cause my New Year's already came and gone. But for all intents and purposes, I'm living in the United States. And I think globally, right? January 1st is the new year, except for, like, China. Is it China? And is there some other countries out there that I'm, like, not thinking about?
Probably, but I don't even want to pretend to be.
I know China is one, right? They got their Chinese calendar, and they celebrate it, like, in March or something like that.
Sure.
I'm talking about from, like, on an astrological sense. November was my New Year's, and so, I started a lot of cleansing, and so my New Year started, and I'm working through some haziness, some fogs, and I'm recognizing these things, so I'm taking a step. I'm pausing, analyzing, compartmentalizing, breaking down, and seeing what my next step is going to be without taking that next step based on an emotional sense, right? So a little bit more logic, a little bit more understanding. But so that's where I'm at. Um, but not to say that it didn't get off to the best start, but it's been good. And I mean, moving into this New Year's that everyone else celebrates, um, based on the Roman calendar or calendar. I'm gonna partake in the festivities, obviously. But I already enjoyed my New Year's.
Hell yeah, man. That's what's up. Well, for me, I mean, I don't drink, so it's not anything crazy. It ain't like it used to be. but but these days it's a hell of a lot better. What are we doing? I probably won't do much, man. We have to get up New Year's Day and we're heading out of the country for a big hockey tournament. Um, so we'll be traveling. We'll be doing some traveling and getting in. But I look forward to this tournament every year. I'm watching my boy go from just a small little dude. I mean, he's to me he's still that small little guy. Like, but I'm watching him grow up into this amazing hockey player, and it's just a really fun time for me, man. I really enjoy um, being present in these moments. So we'll do that. We'll be gone for a week, and then come back and hit it hard again.
Nice, man. And you're right, dude. Like, that's the best part, being able to be a father.
Yeah,
Um, that got taken away from me for a short time. You shared that same thing with you. So, and anyone out there, right? So just being able to be a parent, being able to be a father or mother, um, man, that's all the gifts I need for Christmas. Just being able to even have my daughter call me cringe. She's in that stage right now. I'm a cringe pal. She calls me pal. Um, and but it's just knowing I'm gonna be able to be around her, that fulfills me, that makes me feel amazing, and I'm grateful for that, and I wouldn't change that for the world. I don't got nothing planned other than, spending time with her and yeah, I mean, we'll probably go on a hike and take her out of nature, because that's what I do. I like to try to experience nature with her and give her a sense of understanding of how Mother Nature provides for us and respect for Mother Nature. Um, but man, that touching about your boy and being able to be there and see, you see him, just trying to throw on his skates one day, can't tie him, and now he's like fucking, I bet throwing them on, tying, hurry the hell up, dad, we're gonna be late or something, like uh, that has to feel good.
For sure, for sure. It went from, like just, all right, we'll get there and do your best to no, I need boom, boom, boom. This is what we need to do the night before. Like he's like, Dad, are you gonna get your coffee in the morning? Like, yeah, hell yeah, bro. He's like, you need it. You need to make sure you got your coffee. Like, we got, he's like right into it. And I'm just like, man, like I have a little, he's not little anymore, but I have like this human who's now like one of my best friends. And I couldn't imagine it any other way. Not now,
Yeah.
and not to get sappy, bro, but like I remember the days when I was just down in what felt like the basement of rock bottom. And it's just to be up back above ground again is just the most thankful thing that I have. That's really my Christmas present to myself, you know.
Bro, you're
And like
right.
yeah, and like you said, and others benefit from that. When we work on ourselves, others benefit from it too.
You know, yeah, and again, guys, man, like I love, when we talk like this, it really opens up a lot on me personally, and I hope it does for a lot of you guys, right? Just because we're so hard and we're just like fucking this wall, right? Doesn't matter who you were, it doesn't matter your MOS. The military will strip your ass down and fucking recreate you into this fucking stoned fucking version of who you were supposed to be. Um,
With precision.
with precision, calculated. Yes, yeah,
Oh, for
you're
sure.
absolutely right. So be aware of that, right? Be aware that that's gonna take some time. Some are better than others, right? But like to Jesse's point, like a smaller human and now like seeing that growth and how they're planning things. Like I remember growing up and I always wish I had a relationship with my father. I would see other dudes that I grew up with, friends, and they come over to the house and they joke with their dad and they roughhouse with their pops and and I was like always wishing I had that. I never had that. To this day, me and my father didn't start talking and building a relationship till I was about 37. Um and so now we and it was never a bad relationship, right? It was never like I just didn't have one. Our relationship was working. Hey, get your ass to work. Let's go. But I would always feel like, man, I wish. And well, guess what? It didn't give me that, and I can be sour about it. But guess what? I was given three kids, three children, right, and two beautiful girls. And so knowing that I have that with them now, and they have that with me, as cringe as they can call me, um, I'm having that relationship with my children that I wish I had with my dad. And
Yeah.
again, just these conversations, amongst vets, being vulnerable and having them, uh, are allowing me to realize those things, and that's only going to help me in other aspects of my life. And so I'm grateful for this relationship I have with you, bro, and how we've been growing and how we've been, really managing this podcast because this is what it's all about. And I sincerely mean it. Like even, I mean, just today's podcast and every podcast, but even today's is just you've made me just kind of stop and think like, man, I need to look at this way, or why didn't I capture it that way? Like what he said makes sense. That's right. And so, you know, um, just hearing you speak and what we're talking about, it's just today. It's just I have my own challenges that I'm gonna put myself to, and yeah, I mean, shit. Even just now, talking about our children, like I'm over here wishing, 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 but I'm like, dude, no, yeah, I could tie that together, and move forward, a different purpose and a different outlook.
Yeah, and bring yourself more joy, dude. And it was who was it? It was Brene Brown that said that joy is just on the other side of vulnerability. Like that's all it is. Just having the audacity and the courage to be vulnerable in a culture and group of people that were taught that that is a weakness will bring you a long way. It'll open up doors. It'll remove blocks. It will, it'll do so many things, unknown things. Just being vulnerable.
Hey, we talk, and I think we mentioned it last in the last podcast, last episode that, vulnerability is power is strength, right? Um, and it's absolutely that. If you're around the right environment. And in order for and what I mean is, right, you have to put yourself in rooms and places that are gonna make you feel uncomfortable because that's what growth is being uncomfortable, not recognizing the same stuff. Uh and but that's where you're not gonna, you're not gonna get the same backlash, the same judgment, the same comments, the same, because growth is more uncomfortable for the people around you than it is for yourself, right?
Ooh, that's a
It,
banger.
it's true though.
That's for sure.
So you put yourself in different environments, you take that step forward, doesn't matter. People think or they may say that, it can't be done, or maybe you're thinking you're dreaming or whatever. That's them projecting. That's not you. If you thought about it, guess what? Like Jesse said earlier, fucking go. Fucking go, right, bro? Go because
Absolutely.
you don't know.
Yeah. The most powerful things will happen just on the other side of the unknown as well. So and the
Abs-
cool thing about stuff like that is it doesn't matter what you think because it's all completely different anyway. Like you literally don't know. And the universe has a funny way of rewarding the people that try.
Yeah, I mean, and in our world, and I say our world, like, it's not like me and Jesse hang out and fucking go to the fucking, forest and do some crazy stuff. But it's being delusional is gonna create the most change. Believing in yourself to that level is going to truly, truly create the biggest, most wonderful impacts. In a positive way, obviously, if you're thinking positive, and you should, but be delusional. Be delusional. Don't let no one stop, right? Don't dim that light that you had when you were a child. Tap into it. Be delulu. Again, to each their own. If you need to pray about it, pray about it. If you need to meditate, meditate. Whatever. But don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself. Don't let others limit you. Don't let someone that hasn't been there tell you that it can't be done. Don't take advice from people that haven't even tried, much less been there. And there's
Yeah.
actually and I'm gonna have to look at this study, but there's a study that was about socioeconomics, and it mentioned, if you take a family, a family of four, and that were like low middle class, or lower middle class, and you bring them up to like a higher class resort, right, a luxury resort, 5 star, right, and they're used to, like Holiday Inns and stuff like that, right, which a lot of us are. um but you bring them to this exclusive resort, and you treat them to that, all this exclusivity. It'll instantly program their minds to want to go back to that spot, that experience, that environment. Instantly, that taste of that is going to change and shift their mindset to try to figure out what it's going to take to get back to that spot. So I'm
For
gonna look
sure.
for that. That'll be another challenge of mine. I'm gonna look for that case study. It's really interesting, but it's true, right? If you put yourself in a different environment, right? Like, shit, this is not what I'm used to, and you can run away and be like, boom, whatever, or you can be like, shit, like, how do I get back there? What do I need to do to take on that next step and overcome this potential challenge or obstacle and turn it into an opportunity. But that's real. Like, so don't let others shut your ass down. I mean, just brush it off.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Provided that's where you want to be too, right? Like that's the other part of it. And it's because there's a lot of weight in being thankful for things that haven't happened yet to the point where you believe it. And it's along the same lines as what you're talking about, like getting your mind, your heart, and your brain to coherently believe the same thing with an elevated emotion and the thought of what it is you actually want. Like those two things will start to manifest in your real world for sure, you know? And it's like just like what you said a second ago, like to be an adult with childlike wonder, you know, what a beautiful thing. What a beautiful
Mhm.
fucking thing, man.
Yes. Hey, Peter Pan, huh?
Yeah. Well, kind of. Kind of. Not really. Peter Pan is about the boy who doesn't want to grow up. And that could be taken in a bunch of different ways, but most
Uh,
importantly, the inability to raise one's mindset. Yeah.
no, but most importantly, we want to wish you guys an amazing 2025 Christmas and coming new year. And, you know, just remember, no matter what, I hope everybody's doing well. If you're not, you will. And it all starts up here. As simple as that sounds, it all starts here. And you're gonna have to shed off a lot of weight, and sometimes that means people. So outgrow your friendships. As bad as that sounds, outgrow your friendships is the only way you're gonna grow. They could catch up. Don't ever close the door on them, but don't keep that door closed for yourself. So I want to wish you guys a happy Christmas, 2025 Christmas, and a happy New Year. Jesse, I'll let you wrap it up, bro.
Yeah. I mean, you pretty much hit it, bro. I hope that everyone out there has a great holiday, that they have a Merry Christmas. Enjoy the dinner. Try to be present as best as possible with the people that you love. Um, and enjoy yourself, man. You know, we're only here for a short amount of time. We really are, in the blink of an eye when you stretch it out across the cosmic timeline. Um, so get as much experience as you can. Do what you can with what you have. Um, and just have a fucking Merry Christmas, man.
Heck yeah. Later, y'all.
Oh yeah. It's a wrap.